All right, so your underlying energy is the Two of Pentacles. Underneath that, you have the Nine of Swords. Wow, wow. That's like rough as fuck right there, though. But the good thing is, family, is that with that, I'm sorry, with this cord, I can't really, either bad quality or gaming headset. All right, but anyway, with the Two of Pentacles here, I do get this feeling that you guys are having to kind of make big decisions, big decisions based off of how you feel. But it's hard to do that because I have a feeling that you guys may feel like you're not in a good place to make a decision like that. It's something, it's throwing me off a little bit because you feel trapped and apathetic right now. Like not trapped, but you feel stuck. Emotionally, you just feel stuck. And you're just like, you're feeling emotionally drained. Like, it's just like, you feel emotionally drained from a situation. Not necessarily drained, but like kind of congested, like you're stopped up emotionally. And with the Two Pentacles here, yeah, it's going to, these decisions and keeping the balance right now. Well, these are big, these are practical decisions that you're having to make, or that you need to make right now, based off of based off of what you feel about the options. That's the only way that something of great value is really going to come out of it. It's the only way you're going to see which option is the most valuable, by knowing how you feel about those options. And I feel like with how you're feeling right now with that Four of Cups, it's going to be a little hard. Now, you're not drained. No, not like the Eight of Cups. I said drained in the beginning, but I remembered that's the Eight of Cups, not the Four of Cups. You get to the drained part after when you get to 8. But when you get more stopped up and kind of like congested, and you kind of feel like blocked. Like, it's very writer's blockish, that, the Four of Cups. Okay? You feel really like, writer's block here. But I get this feeling, though, is that even though you feel kind of stopped up, it's basically because of the focus that you have on a certain particular aspect in your life right now. Again, remember, this is not about blame, because I don't care about that. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do, you can think whatever you want to think. You can have your own mindset. You can do whatever you want to do. But in order to improve yourself, you have to recognize what is and what isn't working. Okay? So with the Four of Pentacles, the heart of the reading basically is saying, the challenge is to get to a stable place, or to move higher in a relationship, or to even go into a relationship altogether. It's about moving forward. It's about making, not just moving so forward, but just kind of like moving to a higher place of commitment, getting to this place of, of stability that's like, that can honestly continue on the branch of growth, right? Creating a nice little workshop so you can continue to move forward. That's the best way I can put it, as far as like an example. But think about it like a relationship. You want to kind of get to a place where you can be established so you can build on that, right? It's a good place. It's a good place to start, right? It's a really good place to kind of keep building on something that's really good. But you are feeling kind of like you're not really sure. I feel like with the Four of Cups, it's like everything kind of has this kind of like tainted view on it, because it's like you don't know if you're gonna get the same old BS. And I feel like either you guys are waiting for something as well, waiting for some sort of response. But I really feel like it's like, there's just like this really tainted kind of view on everything, because everything is kind of, because you've been focusing on what right? And I feel like right now, the only way for you to kind of break free from this Four of Cups energy is shifting your focus. And how do you shift your focus? By leaving behind the things you already know. How do you do that? Well, some things, as you guys know by now, right? There's no such thing as a universal truth. Nothing is black and white. And by living in a black and white world, you get to this point. Because then you figure out, then you find out, you feel stuck because you're like, well, this happened, so I can't do that. So this happened, so I don't want to do that. Or this happened, so I'm not really interested in dealing with that. So everything kind of blends into itself. But if you eliminate the limitations, you understand and you see the layers of gray, then you can kind of figure out what it is that you can be open to new opportunities and new possibilities. So it's really this limitation that you may have on yourself based off of what you believe and how you feel about certain things based off of what you've already experienced, right? Kind of, you want to open that door a little bit. Now, in the past, you have the magician. So the magician, I like this card. It does indicate that you have everything that you need. It talks about you having the skills necessary. You're not going into a situation completely naked, right? So I hate when this card moves, but anyway, it's like you knowing what you want, not necessarily knowing what you want, but like being aware of your skill set, because that's the biggest thing. Because you may, you may have the great tools necessary to have a good conversation, to build, healthy communication skills within your relationships. You may, be able to ground yourself and be able to provide a sense of security for you and your partner. There's a lot of things that you already have within you that, that's preset, that's there with you, or something that you gained over time that can be utilized for this relationship. And that in itself builds confidence within yourself, because you know that you can handle it. You can handle whatever comes your way. Hit me with your best shot, pretty much. So now that and that also is a manifestation as well. This is a manifestation card, because I think you have definitely, your skill set, how to kind of put yourself out there. If this is dating, you know exactly what you're wanting to do, you know what you're looking for. You utilize your skills to put yourself out there to have a relationship, and now boom, you got the Ace of Wands. Something nice, something exciting, something very passionate, something that you even maybe connecting with an ex here. We can leave an ex, which is probably why you don't really know what the fuck to do with it now, because you don't really know if you really want to move forward. Now, this Ace of Wands, it may start out the same way as all the other ones, so you're not sure how, you may be thinking of, okay, well, every time that it has happened this way, it's never, it never end. No. I feel like this reason, it's big for you to shift your focus right now, because this is a brand new beginning. You can make anything happen with this beginning. You can make it lead to anywhere. And the devil is coming up. So definitely there's sex involved, but it's like almost like every time there's a relationship that starts out the way that it starts out, it always ends up becoming a toxic relationship, or being tainted in some way. Or the fact is that there's some sort of behavior or pattern that definitely is not helping you build any relationships at all. So every time there's a new start to something, it's like it's immediately taken to this place of having to kind of break free from the taboos, from the things that are naughty, the bad stuff. And I feel like the devil here is saying that you're not bound to anything, really. Nothing's actually keeping you in a certain place. Nothing's actually making all of this messed up. You're not even doing that purposely. But the thing is that when you go into it with a mindset of when you go into something with a certain mindset, yeah, you're only going to be getting out what you're trying to look for, right? So it kind of messes up the dynamic a little bit. It's important to kind of go into a situation open-minded about it, and to break free from the stuff that that you believe is disempowering, so you can have a relationship that's awesome, so you can have something that's nice. But the devil here talks about, like I always say, right, getting your power back, finding your power in a situation that makes you feel like you're not in power, right? The devil can mean a lot of things: obsession, addictions, taboo, the things that people may not accept, and it's like you're starting something with somebody that may have been very, intimate or explicit. It doesn't mean they can't progress, because look at this Page of Pentacles here. I think somebody comes in and offers you something, and the fact that the Four of Cups is here is that you're focusing so much on how this thing started that you don't even see that this person is trying to actually move forward. And I think there is something that can grow from something that moves forward. It's just like, I know that you have your own standards, your own ways of doing something. Something has to be exactly something. But that's, if you control it to that point, you end up losing great potential in something. And I feel like as well too, guys, if something kind of starts off promiscuous, you don't have to continue to go that way unless you do want that, right? And for some of you guys, it may be this, right? Somebody may be flirting like hardcore and you may be feeling them, right? Or maybe somebody's definitely enticing and that, you're like, shit, man, I don't know. I think I might pursue this in the, the other direction, the direction that you can't feel comfortable really moving in a relationship with. Don't do that. Right? If you truly want to build a relationship, you have to shift your focus towards the behaviors that lead you to this place, right? All right. Ultimately, where you are right now is because you put yourself there. And it's not, again, I always say this is not to blame or anything, it's to recognize your power. Because a lot of times we can blame everybody else. We can blame the whole world around us. We can blame everything around us. But it's like, but we keep doing the same thing over and over again. We have to change that up. We got to change that behavior. So remember, it's not about blame. It's about, okay, what are we doing so we can change it? So, because I don't like this. I don't like this behavior. So, like, for instance, like, I always, like, when I do videos or whatever, right? Or I do readings, I always do it starving. I'm always hungry when I'm doing it. And it's because it's just a perpetual habit. I'm not going to eat until I'm done. I'm not going to eat until I'm done. And I always end up like stuttering or, feeling kind of like a little out of it a little bit and feeling a little really tired and sleepy. And I'm like, I don't like this behavior. And it's not because of everything around me. It's because I don't feed myself. It's something like that. So I'm not mad at myself because I can't do X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to be upset with myself to do that. I'm not going to blame myself. Oh my God, you should have eaten it, or else, you would have done better with your videos or doing readings for clients. It's more of like, all right, I got to go ahead and trim this up. I got to go ahead and eat stuff. I got to make time for myself to nourish myself. You know what I mean? So you don't have to say, okay, so I'm the problem. No, it's more of what behaviors do you need to shift and change so you can move forward, so you can have the Four of Wands. Because you can have that. This is the Magician. You can have that. You have everything you need to make that happen. But if the devil thing is coming up, if there's sex involved, if there's a certain standard that you can't if you can't break from, you have to shift something. You have to change something. Maybe the criteria that you look for, maybe the relationship dynamics that you start out with. If it's exciting, it's passionate and all that, and you get a nice little vibe about it, the ego is like rushing, the dopamines are high, all that goodness. The science is involved, but family, you don't gotta fall for the trap. You don't gotta slip into the to the lion's den or to the devil's den, for instance. You don't have to play his little game. You don't have to be enticed by what he's offering. You can just be like, hell no. I know what I want, and I need to do X, Y, and Z before I can even think about a relationship with somebody. So, that being said, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do see, like, this person, if this is another person here, offering you this valuable piece of long-term commitment. And you're just like, I mean, when we started out, it was fun, but I don't know if I can trust. I don't know if I can move forward from that. And then sometimes it's not about how you start, it's about how you continue forward. Because it's like, why does it matter so much how you guys started out? It could be a beautiful relationship. A lot of relationships start out with people that just are friends or the people that are just hooking up. And they can work really wonderful together. I know several people that started out just hooking up, and they're in great relationships. But if you need it to be a certain way, then you have to shift something. You have to change something. Now, your goal and ambition is the Empress card, and with the Four of Wands, yeah, I feel like this has a lot to do with with being in a relationship. Okay, like being in a relationship in that regard, or and not necessarily like stabilizing or anything like that, or getting married, but definitely, you're building something of great value, building something of great value, creating something of great value. You have two manifestation cards so far, Magician And the Empress. The Empress is the creator because she takes time. She takes the time. She knows what's necessary that goes into creating what she wants. So she's willing to take that time to build it, to nurture it, to take care of it, to watch it grow. It takes 9 months to have 9 to 10 months to have a baby. So it's not, so, you know, so it's not like, yeah, so it's not like this stuff happens overnight. But I do get this feeling that maybe, you know, this is kind of like, well, everything doesn't last very long. It has to shift. You have to shift focus. It's shifting your focus to recognizing that things may take some time to build. And just taking that time to do the work necessary to build that. Now, in your outcome, you have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles can talk about work, you know, obviously digging, you know, not digging your heels in, but really focusing on the task at hand and really concentrating on building something of great value. And I feel like when you're concentrated on it, you're not looking at the what ifs, what has been. So you're really shifting your focus to what I can do now, and, you know, how can I, you know, what do I need to learn about this situation? It's very proactive, the 8 of Pentacles. And I feel like that's the thing. You know, when you shift, I feel like you guys are shifting your focus, are changing, and you guys end up going to this energy here where you guys are more prone, you know, you're more focused on getting to know the person, building something of great value, building a real foundation for the both of you guys to really branch off a relationship from. And I feel like it all comes from the shifting of the focus. What are you focusing on the most? Right? And if this isn't about how relationships start, this could just be how, just the relationships in general, or being with someone in general. You may have to try to just curve a certain behavior or way of thinking. Because maybe that's and then that opens the door for more things. But you kind of have to be aware of how you feel too, to help you figure out why you do the certain things that you do. I was talking about to Gemini about this. We do things with the devil to fill a void. So whatever it is that you're trying to fill right now, you have to find it within yourself. You have to fill that void within yourself, not look for external means. And once you do that, I think what you're looking for will come. Embrace the dark. Yup. So, Embrace the Dark talks about knowing your dark side, alright? I think Scorpio got this too, but knowing your darkness, alright? Knowing your darkness. That's okay. If you have regrets too, guys, that could be that too. If you're regretting something, or you looking at stuff and you can't get over it, it's okay. Alright? Don't regret nothing. There was something you got out of it in that moment. There's something that you needed from in that moment. It's all good. The judging yourself part, that's where you fuck yourselves up, because you don't need all that extra BS. You're a human being. You're allowed to experience whatever you want to experience, however you want to experience it. It doesn't matter how. So if you had to do a certain thing that you may not exactly be proud of now, then why do you need to be proud of it? Why can't you just accept that you are a human being in that moment and you needed something in that too? You needed something from that you were doing exactly what you need to do at that time to get you to where you need to be now, But embrace your darkness is pretty much saying don't shun it. Don't shun yourself for the things that you've done. Don't shun a certain past from someone else's. Embrace your darkness more so than anything, because if you don't embrace it, how are you able to see the light? The light comes out, and the light is mostly appreciated from darkness. There's a part of us that we all have a dark side. I do too. We all have a dark side, and it's like all that glitters is looking past the BS. But embrace the dark, man. I could talk forever about embrace the dark, but what I'm gonna say about this is to kind of make this video kind of not so drag on so long like everybody else's. Is that there's a piece of you that deserves to be recognized. That all of you deserves to be recognized. And to be able to move forward, you have to acknowledge the things that you do that you may not necessarily find to be acceptable in public, that people may not accept, period, or maybe even you don't accept. But the fact that you accept those things will help you to overcome certain stuff. Like I was saying before, you have to know what void you're filling with that devil, so you can fill it yourself. And you have to embrace that darkness to do that. And All That Glitters is practically saying the same thing, but it's saying don't fall for the BS, pretty much. Then outside, somebody may look nice and cute and sweet, but there's something more you need to get a little bit more, information about. Everybody has a dark side. So maybe maybe this person comes in to help you see your dark side by you seeing theirs. But it's not about the darkness that make sure your focus isn't all solely on the darkness. Make sure you're seeing all aspects of life, all aspects of who this person is. Because everyone was just made of their darkness. That darkness is influenced by something else that they can't get. Well, that they feel they can't get. Right? Because everybody you're meant to be self-sustaining of everything. But we're not there yet. We're not, we're still in Pisces season, the Pisces era. We haven't reached Aquarian era where everybody can be self-sustained. But, All That Glitters is saying, don't just focus so much on the outside. Don't focus so much on the details. We're Jupiter and Sagittarius now. Everything is about looking at things from the bigger picture. And the more you see some things from this bigger picture and not focus so much on the little piddly stuff that don't matter, you're going to be able to formulate a better opinion on what is truly of value to you, because you are able to understand all areas and all aspects of something or of the person, especially yourself. So don't just look at the details, family. And I know it's something that you're specializing in, and it's something that you specialize in. It's hard to see something from the bigger picture. But if you truly try to see things from all areas and see why things click and see why things happen and see things from, stepping back instead of sitting up close, you'll be able to really work you may find a partner. You may find someone that works just as perfect.